Good morning, Science on Stage friends, and welcome to our plenary session. Just a reminder, the social media competition is going on, so keep on sending those pictures and things on social media.
And keep in mind our different formats to present your ideas. Also remember that all of you participants are winners of our festival. We have a jury who are evaluating the projects recommended by the National Steering Committee of each country for our European STEM Teaching Awards. The Board of Science on Stage Europe and the EU ambassadors select teachers for highlight sessions. The sessions take place each day at 5:15 p.m. in the auditorium. At the end of the day, we come together for a highlight session, which will include selected presentations from the stalls together with any information for the rest of the day.
Yes. The highlights of the day will be selected by the board members and ambassadors. So those of you who are board members and ambassadors, could you stand up a bit so people can see you? And yes. And they will select so that there will be particular examples that will be helpful to the participants and easily presented to everyone in our lecture hall. The presentations must be in English, so that has to be taken into account. NCS leaders may make suggestions to Deputy Chairman David if they believe they have suitable candidates. Through the final selection will be made by the subcommittee of the board. Very official, isn't it? And there is a free selection of projects for lunchtime, open stage session during lunchtime from 1 to 1:30 in the stairs area.
On Tuesday and Wednesdays, at the end of lunchtime, there will be an opportunity for those who wish to give a short, up to 5-minute max presentation of scientific interest in the stair area of the conference center. Those who wish to do so should sign up on the forms at the SUNS desk. This small stage opportunity is not necessarily linked to the highlight sessions, as it is purely voluntary for those who wish to offer this. If you do have something special to offer us, please sign up on the forms at the SUNS desk. Presentations must be in English. In addition, you can organize small meetings yourself to brainstorm about new projects or specific topics. If you are interested, there is a display wall close to the SUNS EU stand where you can pin up a note.
Okay, and now on to our topic, which is also overall motto of this festival. It is about sustainable development goals in schools. Sustainability and environmental protection are important topics. They concern all of us, and students throughout Europe and all over the world are very interested in learning how they can deal with these issues and how they can shape the future. So we need to talk about sustainability in school in our lessons. How can we tackle this task?
In today's session, we will show you how Science on Stage supports teachers in including sustainability topics in STEM education. First, Daniela will present to you the teaching material, Sustainable Development Goals in STEM Education. It provides teachers with interesting ideas and practical concepts on how to address the 17 Sustainable Development Goals in STEM education. Then, Johanna will give you an insight into the development of the upcoming teaching material, Sustainability and Nature in Primary School. Once published, it will provide primary school teachers with instructions for exciting experiments and teaching videos. And of course, we want to hear about the teachers' perspectives. That's why we are all here together. We will talk with some of the authors of both materials and hear what they can tell us about their experience working on the project and using the materials.
Okay. And then Daniela.
Good morning, everyone. Very nice to be here. And as you heard, we're talking today about our teaching materials, SDG, and STEM education. And then, of course, the first question is, what are the challenges in implementing the Sustainable Development Goals in your classes? So how can you address the topic? And then how can you connect the STEM subjects to this topic and to the daily life of the students? And the overall aim is to foster agency in the students and to promote a sustainable decision-making in their future. Quickly about our project. So as you heard before, we have international projects where teachers develop teaching materials from teachers for teachers. In this project, we had 20 teachers from 12 countries, and in more than 2 years, they collaboratively worked together to create these teaching materials and, of course, also tested them in their classroom. And the project was organized by Science on Stage Germany and supported by SAPSE. So the results are the teaching material I'm now going to show you. And all in all, we have 6 different topics for different classes: biology, chemistry, but also interdisciplinary projects. And when you look then at our website, you find teaching materials. That is, some are just 1 or 2 lessons, which can be easily integrated, but also ideas for projects that span a month or maybe the whole school year. As I already said, they're tested. And you find digital content to enhance the material, for example, different interactive videos. And everything is under Creative Commons license, so it's open educational resources. You can easily use it, adapt it. It's available in German and English, but of course you can use web browser translation to have it in your language. So, how can these challenges be overcome to interest and engage the students? And of course, one aspect is to look for sustainability in a local context. So why is it relevant for the students? More about this later, but also hands-on experiments. So it's always, I mean, you all know best that you want to engage your students so they do something themselves and not only experiments in the lab, but also, of course, collect real data so they can see what is happening in my region, in my city, in my school. But also then bring this whole topic in a wider context, so temporal and spatial, use available online tools on how you can have access to scientific data. They can look at what happened 10 years ago in my city, what happened, for example, in my country or in Europe. And then the ultimate goal is, of course, to give the students the opportunity and encourage them to take action so that they see how they can be an active citizen and be part of finding the solution. So how does this look on the website? We have a quick screen video where you can see, so when you come on our website, is the video already running? Ah, yeah. You can see the different topics, and then you can see for what age group, for what subjects, and also we have some background information about what the SDGs are. You find things like whole school approach there. And then when you click on a unit, you can exactly see, so where does this fit in my curriculum? What are the different parts, so you get an insight. We have short interviews with the authors where they tell you, okay, why did they pick this topic? We have interactive materials. Don't be worried about the speed. This is just an overview. I really encourage you to go on the website and then to just have a look and see what might be for you. There are tutorials about different programming and coding activities, or here, for example, what I showed already on the slides. For interactive, for example, how you can access the online tools. And also we have, not all teaching is digital, of course. For example, chemistry, you want to do experiments, so you find here step-by-step instructions to really be able to replicate these experiments in your classrooms. but also here an example for for whole school projects. So they built sensors which they then installed on trees to measure, for example, the light and the pollution around these trees. And here you find instructions how to build this sensor, but also you have access directly to interactive graphs. So if you don't have the opportunity, you can look at the data from their school, or, for example, compare them with your own data. So yeah, quick summary, what do you find in these materials? We have videos with experiments, software, and interactive tutorials, and some overview about student projects. And then we have interactive elements. We use H5P, so you find, for example, multiple choice quizzes. You can download these and then translate them. This is all open source. If you have a school Moodle, you can just include them. And it works in browser, so you don't have to install any software. And then more interactive materials are, for example, the tutorials. We have code examples, and then also worksheets which you can download, edit. This is why it's so important that it's open educational resources, so you don't have to worry about we checked all the copyright for the images and everything, so you can just use it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Daniela. And now it's time to hear more from the teacher's perspective. So I welcome Iro and Marco on stage. They are two authors of this material. You can have mics over there, one for each. Iro Koulikou is a teacher from Greece, Thessaloniki, one of my favorite cities. She's one of the authors of the unit, The 3 R's, and the product of the future that shows sustainable ways to create everyday products, such as bioplastics, cleaning solutions, hair conditioner, or concrete. She teaches physics, geography, biology, natural sciences at Anatolia College in Thessaloniki. Round of applause for her. And Marco Nicolini is a teacher from Italy. He's one of the authors of the unit Climaps, in which students see climate change in time-lapse and gather their own weather data. He teaches physics, maths, and ICT at the Liceo Scientifico Statale at Tassoni in Modena. My Italian is not quite up to par.
Great. I will ask our two guests a few questions. Iro, why is it important to connect STEM lessons with SDG topics?
So first of all, it's important for the students because students can create find meaning in the projects they do. And it's a wonderful opportunity for teachers to create a really problem-solving mindset in their classroom, connect what students are learning with the real world, and encourage them to think innovative and tackle our world's most pressing problems.
What is the impact on the students?
So, first of all, as I said, the students are really engaged and they're encouraged. What I've seen is in my classroom is that maybe subjects that might not make more sense to them, putting in this context of the SDGs, they become more meaningful to them. So I've seen more students being engaged in STEM projects as girls. Because they really see that what they're learning in the classroom really they can make a difference in their community, tackling a problem that is relevant to them, and they can see the application of a science concept in a solution for their community.
Do you see any differences in how the SDG topic is implemented in your country and in other countries? Here at the festival, We have teachers from over 30 countries.
So it's amazing that with the SDGs we have like a global platform, a common problem-solving strategy for everyone. So we see a lot of common things among other countries. But the amazing thing is that we can find a lot of connections, meaning that in my country, I live by the sea, so most of our projects have to do with the sea, with pollution, with microplastics. So I have a friend from Torino, which we developed with her some materials for this project. So she lives in the mountains, so they're looking for microplastics in the mountains. So really a wonderful learning opportunity for students to see this connection. And also putting it in another context. For example, I met a teacher from the UK here that is implementing SDGs in space, in the moon. So she's giving a different perspective, and again, a wonderful learning opportunity for students and for us teachers to teach different things, putting the SDGs in our different contexts.
Thank you, Ira. Okay, Marco, are you ready?
Yeah.
So what do you suggest to other teachers in order to start with Education for Sustainable Development, ESD?
Yeah, I would definitely suggest to start with a local problem, meaning you start locally and you finish your activity globally. So what we did basically is we identified a problem that the students can see on a daily basis. They can touch it and they see that's really something, it's a problem, a topic, an issue in their city or in their town, in their region. And then you decide to inquire to see if they are aware of it and they can think of something that they can do about it. And then you see how this problem matches with a goal, for instance, with one of the Sustainable Development Goals. And then you go and develop your unit. I mean, this is, give or take, what we did with our units. And in our units, there is plenty of material, so you can take them and implement them in your school, or you can just get inspiration from them, or simply you can develop your own unit, and maybe you can follow the timeline we decided. So you start locally with something that is touchable by the students, and you end globally to describe the goals that tackled it.
Great. Can you recommend the Science on Stage SDG materials, and why should other teachers try them out?
Yeah, again, there's plenty of material. There are units that concern, for instance, extreme weather event, and their possible connection, their possible correlation with pollution, maybe. So it's still a debate. I'm not saying that pollution implies extreme weather event, but at least it could be one of the reasons why the frequency of the extreme weather events is increasing. And there are units that, for instance, are about smart cities. There are units that are about green areas, recycling. So there's plenty of material, again, that you can use as it is, but they can be also used as an example of the way to tackle a problem, okay? So you can follow the timeline, for instance, the procedure we followed to develop the units.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
have one more question for Marco, so please hold on. Marco, do you see a link between the SDG topic and career orientation, jobs of the future?
Yes. Just to give an example, the European Commission and the European Parliament recently decided that in 15, 20 years' time, our cities and our homes need to be smart enough, meaning that they should be highly controlled, digitalized, and they should use energy efficiently, and they should follow some rules. Okay? These rules go together with many, many sustainable development goals that you can find in Science on Stage website or in the UN website. Well, these rules, I think that this strategy will pave the way to many, many new jobs and also loads of new kind of jobs that probably are still unknown. And so the students must be prepared to this new kind of career development and need to be aware of the problems that are behind this new strategic view and need to be trained and need to study about them. So the sooner they are aware, the better.
Thank you very much, Iiro and Marco. It was very interesting to hear your perspectives. Now we will learn about teaching sustainability in primary school.
So, hello and good morning, also on my behalf. I will give you a little preview of our upcoming teaching material for primary school teachers, focusing on sustainability and nature. When we were initially planning this project, we asked ourselves, students need to hear about sustainability already at an early age, so how can we address the topic in class? Can we maybe use videos to do that? Can we use those videos to make hands-on experiments more accessible for everybody? And what actually makes a good video? And can we use them to enhance students' communication skills as well? To find out, Science on Stage Germany started a new project. This project involves 15 teachers from 10 countries. And these amazing teachers have been working together for 1.5 years now. They have come up with experiments, they have tested them, they have made videos, they have written materials, and tested everything in class, and the work is still going on. So here you can see the content that will be published under the name Save Our Nature, Let's Explore Together, Videos for Primary. You can see the 5 teaching topics which will be included, and they are water, plants, climate change, recycling, and energy. The experiments will be introduced through experiment videos. There will be 2 videos for each. One video with the experiment and an open ending, and the other video that includes also the results of the experiment. And these videos can be used by you, the teachers, to get familiar with the experiment, but you can also use them in class, watch it together with your students, so you can prepare them so they can do the experiment themselves afterwards. Or you can use the videos if you don't have access to the needed materials in class. The experiment videos will be followed by explanatory videos, because we want to give you all the knowledge and understanding of the science that is happening in these experiments. And you can use these in class with your students. There will be spoken text in the explanatory videos, but we will also provide transcripts, so you can translate those to the language you are teaching in. And to show you what this will look like when it's published, I have prepared a screen video. So you can see the main page here with the graphic elements and the 5 teaching topics: water, plants, climate change, recycling, and energy. When you scroll down, you will have an overview. It looks much like the SDG material that Daniela was presenting. There's also further information, and when you click on one of the topics, there will be the actual teaching material. You see that there's key information on top. When you go down, there's a summary, conceptual introduction, and the first experiment video that will guide you through the process of doing this experiment. You see there's also a list of the required materials, the experiment guide, and we have included questions that you can ask your students while or after watching the video. And this is an example for the explanatory video. There will be an audio for this. Then we have a lot of information for you, the science behind the video, and also additional information about differentiated learning, sustainability, and career orientation in primary school. So this is what you can expect. And if you're wondering about the additional materials, this is an example for the career orientation part, career orientation for young students specifically. And we also have an example for a worksheet. There will be worksheets to print, like the one on the left, and also interactive digital quizzes. And all of this will be accessible for free on our homepage. So, to wrap it up, the upcoming teaching material will include 19 experiments in total on 5 different teaching topics. Each experiment will include experiment videos, explanatory videos, worksheets, scientific background information, and additional information on differentiated learning, sustainability, and career orientation. Our materials are, as always, from teachers for teachers. The experiments and videos have been tested by teachers from various countries. So that means that they will also work in your country and in your school. The material will be published under a Creative Commons license in early 2025. So if you don't want to miss the publication, you can sign up for our newsletter using this QR code here. And I hope that you're looking forward to the publication of the material. I know that we are, and I hope they will be a good resource for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Johanna. It looks very interesting, the project. And of course, we want to hear about this from the experience of teachers that are involved. Come ahead. So I welcome Jane and Anastasia on stage. There are 2 authors of this upcoming material, Save Our Nature, Let's Explore Together. Jane Simichu is a teacher from Ireland, one of my favorite towns again, from Galway on the west coast of Ireland. She's a teacher working on the topic of water on this project and teaches all subjects on the primary level, including STEM, of course. On the, okay, this is an Irish name, so Scoil Catorna.
Not bad.
Not
Skull
bad.
Katrina.
Ah, thanks. Not even close, so. In Renmo, Galway. Yeah. Very beautiful area of nature around there, isn't it?
Very
but
green.
At least, or as beautiful place is, of course, Crete, where Anastasia, and your last name, you might pronounce it yourself.
Konstantinou.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I take your word for it. So she's one of the teachers working on a topic for climate change in this project.
Yes.
And teaches biology, chemistry, physics, geology, and geography at Gymnasia Govan in Iraklion, Crete.
Yes, great.
I will ask them a few questions. Questions for Jane. Why is it important to talk about protecting nature already when the children are in primary school?
I teach in a junior primary school. So in Ireland we start quite young. We start at 4 years old. So the school that I work in, our students are 4 to 8 years old. Do you know how many questions a 4-year-old asks every day? Because I looked this up and it's about 400 questions. And when you think that I have 20 students in my class, maybe 30 students in my class, and they're at school for most of their waking day, guess how many questions I answer every day? Lots. So, is it a good time to be introducing nature? Yes. Is it a good time to be introducing anything? Yes. Because they're very curious, they're very receptive, they're very enthusiastic, and they're very aware of what's going on around them at their level. So why is it a good time to bring it in? Because they're ready for it right from the very start. So they're enthusiastic, they're dying to learn, but also a very interesting thing is I take my children to the beach and we do some litter picking. And I don't know if you've noticed, children who pick up litter don't tend to throw litter. So hopefully as they go on to become the adults, the young adults and the older adults that they become, that start that you've given them in life where you're focusing on the good things to do, that is something that they can carry through for their whole life, for their whole journey. So that's quite interesting. But also, if you get children involved in nature, in learning about nature, in learning about sustainability at a very young age, hopefully that will carry through as part of their personality as they grow up. And every voice matters. You manage to bring in one child, you manage to bring in a few children. Hopefully, as they grow older, they will manage to bring in one more or a few more, and that is the way to make sure that this planet is on the right track. Get us all involved. Start young, encourage young, and get them involved young, and hope we deal with that fear. We teach them, we encourage them, we promote learning, and we give them their voice. We help them learn, I can do something. This is not happening without me. I have a little bit of control. I can pick litter. I can stop wasting water. I can do my part. And that's where you take away the fear and you give them some power over their own future. Every child matters, every adult matters, every human matters. We are all responsible. Not that it all falls on me, but that I am giving them, helping them to take a little bit of ownership for this. And hopefully that's good for us, good for all of us.
Thank you, Jane. Okay, now I have some questions for Anastasia.
Yes.
What are the challenges primary teachers face when doing experiments in class?
Oh, experiments in class. In many primary schools, they don't have the materials, they don't have the resources to conduct experiments in classes, and that makes it very hard for teachers to engage their students in hands-on activities. That's the way young students really learn. Sometimes they don't have the time. We have so packed up curriculums, we cannot implement our experiments in our lessons. And of course in primary school, I think the biggest issue is, the biggest challenge is safety. We have to make science experiments, but also we have to keep our students safe. So we have to take care of what materials we use, what equipment we use. And a challenge some primary teachers face is they feel unsure of their own scientific knowledge or their ability to conduct experiments in classes, and they need our support in this to help them engage their students more.
Okay. How can videos from projects support teachers?
Well, these videos, they have all the steps. So the teacher actually knows exactly what materials they will need, exactly the time it will take them, and we tell them how to put these experiments into their classes, into their curriculums. We also reinforce them to do it, so by giving them background, scientific knowledge, they feel certain of themselves, so they will conduct the experiments and the students will benefit from these hand-on activities.
Thank you, Anastasia.
I'm not a native.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It was very interesting to hear your perspectives.
Thank you.
So we welcome back Johanna on stage to tell us what comes after these projects, what's coming up.
Exactly. Thank you very much. So you can connect sustainability with other topics, like, for example, artificial intelligence. And if you want to know more about AI and how you can maybe use AI to solve sustainability issues, you can join our plenary session tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock in this very same auditorium here. It will be about AI in STEM education. So warmly welcome. And this all sounds great, but maybe you're wondering, how can you actually join one of our projects? Well, you could join one of our brainstorming sessions, because many of our projects have actually started with a brainstorming session at one of the festivals. So we have 2 brainstorming sessions today. One is about career orientation. Here we will talk about how you can encourage students' interest in STEM careers and present exciting STEM professions in your classes. And we want to hear your ideas for a new project. The other session is on quantum computing, and here we will discuss what you need to incorporate this topic in your class. So join us and let us know, because we want to know. Tomorrow we have 2 sessions as well. One of them is about the EU Code Week, which is a movement that makes programming more visible and brings people together to learn. So join the session if you want to learn more about the Code Week and you want to discuss how to make or promote coding activities in school. And also we will have a session about primary education. Here we would like you to tell us what topics are important in your primary classes. So join and let us hear your ideas for a new international project. If you haven't signed up for any of these brainstorming sessions, but now you feel like you would like to join, no problem, just show up at the room at the respective time. We have also webinars coming up this autumn at Science on Stage, so you can register for AI in STEM education in October to get to know 2 of our new teaching resources on AI in STEM education for younger students. In November, you can register for Save Our Nature and learn more about the experiments for primary school from our upcoming publication. And also you can register for It's Not Magic, It's Science You Don't See. Join this webinar to learn about new magic tricks and the science behind them. You can find all of our events on our homepage by scanning this QR code. And if you have any questions about the webinars, the brainstormings, whatever, you can also come to the Science on Stage stand and ask us questions. Thank you very much. And I hand over now for some concluding information.
Thank you, Johanna and Daniela. Now, some general information for the day. Workshops take place between 12 and 1 p.m. We also have workshops between 4 and 5 p.m. All delegates have registered beforehand. The rooms are indicated in the app. Lunch will be served from 12:30 to 2 p.m. Those who will visit the brainstorming session should grab their meals at 12:30. There is also a possibility for you to present your projects during lunchtime. From 1 to 2 p.m., the brainstorming session on quantum computing takes place in room Eric 2003. And the session on career orientation takes place in room Ivor 2002. From 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m., there will be a meeting of the National Steering Committees of Science on Stage Europe in room Beta. We meet here again at 5:15 p.m. for the highlight session, where we will present some highlights from the fair. Afterwards, you have free time to explore Turku. In the festival app, the event page, you can find ideas about what to do. For example, you can visit the Turku Castle and walk by the riverside. I can assure you it's beautiful. Enjoy the day.
Yes, few more things. I'll remind everyone that there are stands in 2 floors and in several places. So visit all of them, even the ones on the fringes, so that everyone will have some visitors. There's also a time plan. If you go into the festival app and you see the latest message there, the message leads you to a timetable where you can see when there's supposed to be someone on the stand. It also means that you can see when you're not supposed to be on your stand, so you have time and freedom to roam the other stands and get to know the other people. I remind you again, this is about meeting and creating new friendships. So meeting the other people, having a chat with them, that's the whole point of this issue, not just presenting what you've done in your schools. Another thing, David, I can say it out, or you can say it as well.
Last time we had a brainstorming session on food, and we started producing these booklets freely that are all available online. I have had some samples on the Science on Stage store that somebody has borrowed. Could we have them back? So we've got 3 more days so people can look through. There's 5 of these booklets. They're all free online. And maybe some of you might like to join in with this project as well. It's a very low-cost, low-key sort of ideas thing. A page for every topic. Very easy. So that would be it. Somebody's also taken my What Happens Next booklets that I'd like those back. I can send you them out very easily. We started What Happens Next when lockdown began, and I thought I'd do a term with experiments. We're still going with new experiments. Question one day, answer the next. So you've got a little bit of time to think. Can I just have a show of hands? How many people are looking anytime at the What Happens Next Facebook page? See, it's a good range of folks. Do tell others about it. And people have found that really, really useful to engage their students. Another hand just realized that she does. But I would like the booklets back so we can actually show others. We've got 3 days to go. And I've saved a lot of money by not bringing a box full. Okie doke.
Okay.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, David. So, again, we thank the sponsors and supporters, and have a nice day.